All right, and it says we're live. Hello, 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 everyone. And maybe
Stop.
a little delay on some ends, but it's here. So say hi, everybody.
Hi.
All
Stop.
right, so we have full house tonight. I am going to let everyone do introductions. We're going to start from the end and work our way up to little old me. So let's start with Alec.
Hey, I'm Alec, or also known as A.L. Williams. I am the author of Immortal Scars, currently available on Amazon. I'm also preparing to publish Hopeless Scars, which is Scars 2 in March.
Ooh, awesome. All right, and Yana.
I am the Naked Firefly, or I can be called Yana. I am a romance writer, mystery writer, and middle grade fantasy writer. And I do not have a book out yet, but it should be coming out before the summertime. So,
Woohoo! Can't wait for that. We love all tuber books. We got to read them.
Yes.
All right, Stewie, or my brother DL, because we're both DLs, just saying.
I'm DL Stewart, our adult medieval fantasy. My debut novel about Radagor is currently out and available. I have finished the first draft of Sovereign Duties, which is book 2, and I will be sending that out into alphas at the beginning of next month.
Yay. All right, Aphrodite.
Hi, I'm Aphrodite and I'm sick, but I'm here.
She is here.
And I have a book out called Shattered. It's available right now on Amazon. I also have, excuse me, what is it? No, Shattered is a new adult, I should say that. A new adult coming of age story. And then I have a book out from my altar called Minx Kenosha, and the book is Encounters the Seven Erotic Sins. So go get them.
Go get it. Both of those are amazing books. I have read both of those multiple times. Very, very good. And I am actually reading DL's book now. It's very great, very good fantasy. You guys should definitely check that one out. And I'm going to make sure I get on that alpha list for book 2. So looking forward to that. And I actually have had the pleasure of reading some of Alec's work, which is also very steamy and good. So we have a lot of talented people here, and hopefully I'll be getting to read Yana's Naked Firefly's book very soon. Apparently,
You would have had it not got snatched up off the table.
yeah, I know. I didn't get to get one either. Everybody's all over it. Like,
I'm still mad about that if you can't tell.
I know we should have just like hit some like before everybody got to them because we did not get to read them. Like, we're the ones setting up.
We set up and go back to the table like, what happened?
Hey, we snooze, we lose. It's our fault. What are we gonna say? All right, as you guys know, I'm author DL Tillery. I write horror, fantasy, romance, and a mixture of all those in between. I do write adult, middle grade, and children's books as well. So I also do a wide range of those. I'm actually planning a series in the future to grow up with a audience. So that's my plan. I thought of that yesterday. Actually, I was like, you know what? I kind of like to do that because I have a series on the back burner that it starts in a middle grade and then goes up to new adult, YA, and then new adult. So I'm like, you know what? I think I want to start with like children, then middle grade, then YA, then new adult to adult. So I want to do that. But my book that will be coming out, hopefully, October 2020 this year, if everything pans out, is Cagliostro, Tale of Libertin that I've been working on for quite some time. I finally got to send it off to my editor, and Aphrodite is actually one of my alphas for it, so she knows a little bit about it. I talk about it on my channel here and there, and if you're on my Patreon, then you know a little bit more about it as well. So get in touch with Cagliostro. He's the character. I'm just saying.
Am I going to have to ship this man?
Oh, Alec, you ain't seen Cagliostro yet?
No, I haven't seen him yet.
I'll send you some of the artwork for him. I had an artist work on art for him. And Cagliostro is mixed background. I tend to write a lot of my characters mixed background because I'm mixed. So he has like a mixture of Middle Eastern and German. And yeah, so he has like a nice tan tone to his skin, and his eyes are blue most of the time because of what he is. So That's why his eyes are that color, like a crystal type of glow, and they tend to glow when he has emotional type of effects. So,
I'm gonna be over here making freaking fan fiction about this guy. Just watch.
Relax.
Just be prepared. It will be very gay.
Oh yes, I'm aware that you're probably going to do like Cagliostro and Duncan then.
That's funny that you said that because I already had I don't know a lot about Duncan. He just got introduced, but
he seems older. Duncan's like
I might like
40 type of look, but he has like white hair and is short and spiky, and he's a.
You know who I thought about? I don't know if you. Oh wait, I'll use his name. You ever seen the show Dynasty back in the 80s?
Yeah, I know.
And I thought about Blake Carrington.
Oh yeah, Blake. Yeah.
So I said,
Yeah, so I would not be shocked at all. But I guess, Alec, you want to jump into that? Go for it. I ain't got nothing to say.
What's going to happen with Stewie books, too? It's just the way it works.
I'll let you get away with that. But somebody else be rolling up in here with this fan fiction. I'm like, listen. So with my car.
I'm a fanfic myself with me some Cagliostro.
Oh, Lord. Why'd I know it's going to be a short film?
I'm just saying. I ain't gonna publish it. It'll be for personal.
Yeah.
Cagliostro gonna be on
research
purposes. Relax. Okay.
You told me Cagliostro, and I went Holy Ostro, man. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're gonna be wanting to be Allison. I know. So we're gonna go ahead and do the first question for the night because we like to do Q&A over here. And tonight's theme is secrets of the writer. Really basic 3 questions, and everyone in the comments, you can answer this and put it in the chat, and I will read it. So the first question is, what's 3 things you bring from other parts of your life into your writing? You can take a minute to think about that, but I'm sure some of us may know off the top of our heads.
Yeah, who's here? We gotta guess who's here.
I'm ready to go through. So while you guys think about that, and then I'll go through and see who wants to go first. So I see we have from the top. Hi, Steven. Ava's here. Hi, Ava. And let's see, Jennifer. Our first person here was Josie. Hey, Josie. And Ava said, okay, I love the idea. My middle grade has the potential of trying. Yeah, I like the idea of growing your series type of thing because then your audience grows with you type of setting. Let's see who else. Wendy. Hey, Wendy. Cachet's in the house. And D Winters. Hey, I haven't seen you in a minute. Happy to have everybody here. D Winters.
Oh, okay.
I always go by last names a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
It goes random with me. I might go your last name. You might be your first name today. Stewie is Stewie sometimes. Sometimes he's DL.
Sometimes he's a sexy tub of whipped cream.
Watch out, DL. I didn't know about that one, so I better.
I love the name.
I've known about that for a while.
Yep.
Several months.
I have Atalia in one of the books I'm working on, my 5th chapter. Let's just call it 5th chapter. The lead character, her name is Talia. And I said, "Oh, I need a Dahlia now."
Oh yeah.
It is a pretty name.
It is a pretty name. All right, so who wants to go first answering the question? I will read it again. What's 3 things you bring from other parts of your life into your writing? Alec, do you want to grab it first, or should I push it to somebody else?
Sure, I can grab it first.
All right.
I bring mental health struggles. That's a really, really big, my book is an allegory for mental health struggles, and it's a big part of my personal life.
Yes.
Another one would probably be my snarkiness. I love making my characters be smartasses.
I noticed.
And I can't think of a third one. I think probably the deep inner monologue. I'm always thinking and always weighing things in my head, so it's a very big part of the way I write.
Cool. You have a style. You got a style. That's cool. I like that. Alrighty, Yana.
I don't know if I have 3.
If you don't, that's fine too.
I know one would be the African background, mostly. And And then the other one would be that African family. And so in a lot of minds, you might see like the African family structure, how that works.
Cool.
And I want to say the third one will probably be whatever I'm studying or researching at the time, like maybe natural healing or herbs, and then it might be something else completely.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Like that. How about you, DL?
I don't know. I would say probably some of the darker elements or whatever stuff I've been through to kind of make it into story type elements as well. Um, Maybe kind of like how Alex said with snarkiness and attitude. I like taking some of my characteristics and like amplifying it a lot and putting it into characters. So you got people like Capron and stuff. And then I don't know for the third one.
You don't have to be 3, but you just have 3, up to 3. Because some people can go all day. I'm sure it'll be like 25. All right, Aphrodite. How about you?
I thought that this question was going to be so super easy. It's not really easy. So from my personal life experience, is that what you mean?
Yeah, just anything you pull from your life into your writing that you feel is the case.
I was trying to go over like the majority of the stuff I write, and I just like, and I know it's been said 1,001 times, but I just like the fact that I like diversity, and my family is a big giant melting pot. But everything about our story, so to speak, isn't about being diverse. It's a human experience. So I like kind of throwing in the rainbow, but not talking about the rainbow.
Gotcha.
That's one thing. I love having 95% of my stories are going to have a female lead. And I didn't say strong female lead. They will get strong, but they're not always strong.
Not everybody's strong.
Right.
Not a requirement.
It's more than one story out there, and everybody, sometimes they're not happy. And that's my third thing is, I'm very Shakespearean, so your girl love a tragedy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not from my life experience. That's just from my what I like, so to speak. So I don't mind if it's not a happy ending, and I don't mind if it's not even a happy for now ending. Sometimes shit is not a happy ending. So I do like to tell stories like that to a certain degree.
I got that.
So those are my 3 that I could think of.
Well, some of ours are similar. I definitely bring my cultural background into my writing. It's not even intentional. It's just that I noticed it as I was writing my stories and going back and reading through. And once my characters developed, that it was just like inherently in me to put that forth in my writing. It was never a plan because I don't really write my characters that way. I have no plan to say, well, my character's going to be this race or that race, and it kind of just happens that way. Or they'll be born in a certain area, so happily with the story developing, and then okay, this, and this, and then this, and this, and this that happened. So I noticed that was just kind of like a thing I was bringing into it without thinking about it. Also, then I thought about it later, like that's good too, because you definitely can use diversity in books, and I like it to be a natural flow and not the whole point of just this is what this is and so big deal on race, So I'm kind of happy that it's just kind of happened naturally. Of course, at some point, as I go into my career in writing, people are like, whoa, your characters, you can't please everybody. They're going to be like, oh, your characters are mixed, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it's the world. What do you want, You got fantasy. Heck, we got aliens. We got all kinds of things happening. So,
like with me, technically I do that too. I just don't think about it because it's my reality. Like, all of my characters are different.
Right. I'm so different. I don't really think about it. It's just like my life. So I kind of bring my background into that. And then I guess the other aspect would probably be my sarcastic attitude, which I can have, and I'm quite direct. So I think even in my character Cagliostro, he's male And I've talked to a lot of different writers, and they're like, well, it's hard to write a male because you're a female, or they ask the question like, because they're going to write the opposite sex, let's say, and they're like, well, can you write that? Like, you might think about that sometimes, but you really don't when you're writing a character. And I think some of me has come out in Cagliostro when he answers things and his attitude. And I think it's kind of funny because you're kind of like going back and reading yourself a little bit.
I hate when people ask that question though. Like, what do you mean? Can I do that? I know all kinds of people.
Right. So it's not like
writing about. I'm not going to write a story about what it means to be a guy.
Right.
Yeah.
A guy, but I can write a story about a guy.
Right.
Well, I mean, on top of that, people put too much stock on thinking that it's genetically ingrained that our personalities are so different. No,
we grew up, or
yeah, I had this conversation on my stream 2 months ago.
Right, and who we're around. I mean, I had 2 brothers growing up, so of course, I was more into like guy stuff because I was around that. But this is who I am. So all my friends were guys. And then as I got older and older, then I started having female friends. But that's why when some of my friends, they'd be like, you haven't talked to me in a while. You haven't called me in a while. I'm like, well, you got to understand. I'm kind of like a guy that way. Like, I've thought about you. I mean, I'm calling you. Like,
I do the same thing.
I mean, that's just who I am. Like, I thought about you. Don't think it's wrong. Because I have like my best friends and real close friends I talk to like all the time. But I have other friends. Like, I guess if there was like a pyramid or thing, then I have people I think about, but I may not talk to you in a year. That don't mean I'm not your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on top of that, it's like I'm trying to make money. I'm
just saying, like, I'm kind of like, because all my friends were guys, so they wouldn't be like calling me up all the time, and I'm like, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? So I have like girls as friends, and they'd be like, you'll never talk to me. That will happen a lot, and I'm like, look,
they must be
you gotta try to think about me like you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to. Like, I like dressing up. I like wearing my makeup and stuff, but don't get it twisted. I could kind of be, I could be like a guy in some instances, so they get a little confused a little bit. Like, they see me come out with my 9-inch stilettos and like dolled up and stuff. They're like, oh, she gonna be like, no, you might not hear from me.
No. I got to interrupt you on that. I just want to speak to I'm gonna speak to the crowd. Them damn shoes that she be wearing is weapons.
They can be.
We're not.
They could be
real shoes. No,
I can use.
Are they the type that make you go weak in the knees because they're just that sharp?
They what I would call if
my last ones I could be.
If I put them on, number one, I would be 6'9", just about. But if I put them on, I would not stand up in them. They'd be FMPs at that point.
I just have this image of like Danette just standing there with her heel on some guy's chest.
That's how
that works.
They be FMPs. They literally
be happy.
The shoes that she had last Sunday was this. So just the heel part. Wings. I'm not talking about a platform and then the heel. You know how some people do. No, I'm saying her foot is practically at a damn point, and then the damn shoe. Weapons.
I do like my shoes though. You know.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just had to say it because
I do love it though. But some shoes are just made to be like, I'm at dinner and I'm looking cute because you shouldn't be walking too long in them because your feet. Listen.
And by the end of the night, I'll be walking around barefooted, but at least I look good when I first get there.
But let me just say, I will pull out my shoes. Like, I love my shoes. So I'm just saying, like, that's. So yeah, I pull those aspects out in those 2 things, and then the other one would probably be my dancer mind, because I've been a dancer since I've been 8 years old. So I do bring those thoughts into like how my dancer mind works when I'm performing or creating and becoming another person. So those aspects actually help, and I actually use my writing for my dancing. So I integrate the other parts of my life into other parts of my life. So yeah, we all have those things. So let's see who answered the question in the comments.
Oh, what I was going to say too is when people try to get at me as far as, because I'm not a talk on the phone kind of girl, and they would get at me like, you haven't called me XYZ. I always remind them that the phone works both ways.
It do. People always say that like, you don't
come for me.
Either. I mean, I'm just saying.
You didn't dial me either.
Yeah, no.
Or they love throwing that passive aggressive, oh, I miss you. And it's like, call me then.
Like, okay. Like, why I miss you, so let me stop.
Right?
All right, so Ava said, let me see, let me find it here and pull it up on the screen because the
I'll be back. I have to take some meds.
oh, you good? Go ahead. I'm gonna read these. Ava said, one, childhood traumas and sequential life lessons. Number two, my experiences as a mother. Yes, that's starting to come into play myself. Grandmother and wife. Number three, my love of blurring lines. I like that. I like that. Cachet said, my knowledge of mental health. Two, my hobbies. And three, my real world experiences in different information technological industries. Okay, cool. Yeah, we all bringing stuff in, which I think makes for more interesting stories for everyone to read. Josie said, mental health, traumas, and my own experiences with certain subjects. Yeah, all of us are feeling that. Yeah, I agree. It is. This question is good for a video tag. Yeah, I know. I should probably do that. Well, I'm supposed to start up videos again in February because I finally got I have another desktop that's acting better, so I don't have to worry about depending on the Wi-Fi for streaming and stuff. And I'm going to do a video program on this one and start doing put my videos back up again. Thank goodness for that. Jennifer says, one, survivor stories. Oh, those are always good. Two, my experiences with my disability, and three, my mental health struggles. Yes, I'm sure a lot of us relate with that here. Yeah, I see nigger Firefly like, why you up? Everybody's like, you should be sleep.
It is like 2 a.m. here. My eyeballs don't hurt at all. I'm fine. Who needs eyeballs?
Anytime you want to bow out, you bow out. Okay, I'm just saying.
I took a quick power nap before this. I should be good for like another hour.
I did too. I took a power nap.
Like, you're in Germany, right? Are you in Germany? Yeah, so I was going to say the time there, because I know a few people that live in Germany. I'm like, listen,
My
nephew right now.
The nephew were born in Germany. They're here now, but they were born in Germany.
Yeah, it's a 6-hour difference. But I took a power nap, so I should be good for like another 3 hours, and then I'll be fine.
Oh no, this girl did not just now email me. She better get on my phone.
Actually, my in my book, Germany is mentioned because where Cagliostro's manor sits in the human world, it would be on the borderline of Germany. But where he is on the other side of the veil, it doesn't really register that that's Germany because it's on the other side of the veil. But if you just cross over into the human world from there, you would be in Germany. So
okay.
I love Germany. I actually love German. And like one of the first songs that I learned, because I love languages, but I usually learn them first through music. And one of the first songs I learned is by like a heavy metal band, and it was like the name of the song was Todd von Each Gut, and it was like Death is Cool. So I was like, I loved it, but it's so much easier to learn German because
it is
our language.
Yeah,
it looks like it's what it says, like, you know. So it's really easier than when I learned Japanese and Korean.
Plus, the sentence structure is closer to English.
It is.
Structure.
It really is. So
you don't have to relearn. It's not like you're like we were talking. Me and Yana were talking the other day. It's not like when you have to speak like Yoda, and if you truly translate some other languages, they are not close to how we structure our sentences. Not close. We sound like Yoda.
True.
Before I go, you know. So, but German is closer.
I mean, if you leave it to my son, we speak in Yoda all day.
Sure.
Like, he is a Star Wars fanatic, so we speak in that all day. And sometimes I have this look on my face.
You were like, okay.
No, that reminds me of Daddy Daycare when a little boy all he would speak was Klingon, and Eddie Murphy's character was like, "What is this child saying?" And he didn't know, and then he hired like this geeky guy, and he goes, "Oh," and the guy starts speaking to him. He's like, "Wait, he's speaking a language?" And like, "Yeah, it's Klingon." He's like, "Like how does a 3-year-old child learn Klingon?"
Children are too funny.
That would be my son.
My daughter takes she watches stuff in Spanish as well, but her second language, her first language is Japanese, her second language is English, but she listening to Spanish on her own. Like she just went and decided to look at Dora Explorer and a whole bunch of other Spanish programs on her own because she likes learning. And now she's like, I'm going to take Japanese and English and Spanish and a little bit of German too and mix them together. I'm like, listen, nobody gonna know what you're saying. That's cool, you making your own language, but listen, nobody else speaks that, whatever that is.
Right? Because that's how, like, my daughter, she speaks German. My son speaks Japanese.
Yep.
My grandson, thank God, is English, and he'll have a little bit of German. But they get on my nerves because I know they're talking about me.
About you all the time. Me and
they get on my nerve, and then like they all speak Spanish, and my Spanish sucks. Like I used to be really good. I was down, but it sucks. You got to practice. You got to practice.
So my daughter, if you start speaking Spanish, mommy is Mexican and Puerto Rican, but listen, mommy don't speak Spanish. Okay? Relax with that.
My son
talk about me. Don't talk about me.
His Spanish isn't as good as everybody else's is, but he thinks it is.
Oh, kids always think they can say everything they're saying.
It's always really like half the stuff he says. I'm like, dude, that was like racist what you just said. Like, did you realize what you just said? And then it'll either be sexist or racist or just wrong. Like, the donuts are in the bathroom. Something like it'll be wrong.
Kids don't know.
Kid, he's 30. He's a grown ass man.
Oh, not your son. That's right, not your grandson.
The grandson.
Listen, I met Jeremy how many X amount of times, so I already know about him. So
grandson loves English, thank God.
For now. Steven says, 1, experiences and knowledge with mental health. 2, my snarky self. There's a lot of snarky people up in here. I'm just
it's part of being a writer.
This is probably true. 3, love of mythology. Yes, mythology.
Yes. See, I should have said that. What Steven said.
Let's see. Hi, Cara. Cara's here.
Caro.
Yes. All right. Oh, and Persephone showed up. Y'all just sneaking in. I see. Where's that back door at? Because y'all just sneaking in. I didn't even see you guys pop up. Okay.
Me and Persephone, we have the best dad.
Oh, I know. Listen,
actually, our dad's a hoe, but we let it go.
I'm gonna join y'all club because I'm changing my name legally to Freya. So we just gonna have like a goddess show, okay?
I want to address the earlier when they said I'd be sleeping during the sprint. I will not be sleeping during the sprint. My face will not hit the keyboard, and I will put the baby down first.
Yeah, relax.
Oh, we got a mini goddess.
Actually, do our first sprint in 2 minutes. So at 8:30, we will do our first 20-minute sprints. Okay.
I have a request though.
About
Stewart talks too much.
Oh, I know he needs.
I really need you to rein him in.
Shut the hell up, Stewart.
But I can't control him. Okay? I just gotta tell everybody that we got the same name, but that don't mean I can control him. Like, look at him.
Some duct tape.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm be quiet.
No, duct tape. No. Stop with that.
Did y'all not?
What's wrong with duct tape?
I got something around here. I'm sure.
Oh, look, don't be helping Stewie. Don't help. Don't help her. Mink's gonna come out and rear her head.
I called myself. I caught myself. There's a baby in the room.
Yeah, see, look, he was yeah, Stewie and Al can't get a word in. Well,
and the baby, little mini Firefly is asleep. She's not thinking about anybody right now.
All I'm saying, if you can't afford medical restraints, duct tape is the best option. Okay.
Listen,
I'm not going to bite. I'm not.
Yeah, you look like you want to though.
I'm trying.
I mean, you look like you biting. Look at you. Look.
That's chapter 3.
Calm down. All right.
I seriously need to read the rest of this book.
Yeah, you really do.
All he read was chapter 5.
Yeah, you need.
I love chapter 5.
Yeah, chapter 5 is amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and start our 20-minute sprint. I'm going to pull up the clock here. So let's get this going first. Because it's the first time doing it. Dewey gave me some pointers. So.
Oh, we don't know what people are working on.
You guys can let us know what you're working on, and you guys can go ahead and say what you're working on because I didn't ask you. What are you working on tonight, everyone?
I am working on drafting Scars 5
Okay, cool.
because I wanted to break from editing and all that stuff.
Cool. All right. Who's next?
I will be doing my read through of, I think, chapter 34 is where I'm at for book 2.
Okay, cool. Next.
I'm going to be doing a shot list for the film I'm shooting next month that I'm not ready for. But, so I probably can get the shot list done tonight during this, and then that'll be one thing off my plate.
I'll probably be working on the short story Harvestman, and then probably work a little bit on the middle grade fantasy.
Cool. Alrighty. People are answering the question.
I'm just down here like, Steven, I need pictures.
Hey, what happened? What I miss?
Steven.
Talking about?
He's talking about the duct tape.
I got duct tape right over there. I'll go get it.
Go get it.
I
got a neck tie somewhere I can wrap around.
Uh-oh. Watch out.
I need y'all to stop.
I got a whip.
Alone.
This went PG-13 very fast. Let's see how far down it spirals.
The group that we have,
we got all kinds of stuff. I got a whip.
I have harness that I got from this cop. He forgot to take them with them.
We got everything we need. Watch out.
I think I got some handcuffs.
Everybody got handcuffs. Watch out. I have handcuffs and mine has like black fur on it. So
I have vivid imagination. I can literally figure out anything.
I'm sure you can. I found that out.
Not that I got arrested or anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't remember how they got left.
Let's see what everybody is working on here before I'm gonna go ahead and start it. So everybody can go ahead and start, and then I'm gonna go ahead and
I'll be right back.
Okay, you go for it. We're gonna start the count. You good. Go for it.
Okay. Right. Every time Stewie says right, all I hear is President Clinton. Brought by.
Nice. All right, so you guys go ahead and write. I'm checking the comments. So
all right.
All right, let's see what everybody's working on. So about the duct tape. I know the duct tape, y'all.
How are you able to mute the typing sound?
Let's see. I could do that. There you go. I muted it.
No, I was wondering how you muted it. I wasn't saying that you had to.
All right. Yeah. You just go on the actual video and it's got mute. Unmute.
I see it.
Yeah, right there. So
I'm like, why don't I hear typing?
Yeah. See. Yeah, people like the typey sound. All right, so let me go back up and see if anybody actually said what they're working on because I think I missed it. Oh, Michael's here. Hi, Michael. And Diana. See more people came in that back door. Y'all need to close that back door. I'm just saying. So they can knock on the front door so I can know they're here.
I'm not going to touch that comment.
Listen. Keep Minx on a low key there. Relax, Minx. All right. Caro is reviewing a comic strip for one of workers' writers. Okay, cool. Persephone doing some major world building. Diane's still trying to finish my nano draft. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write. See you guys in 17 minutes. Okay, time. Oh, we're back. How did everyone do?
Did okay. It's a short film, but
Mhm.
even though it's a short film, there are a lot of shots. So because it's
Somebody
a
has music playing. Who was that?
oh, not me.
Probably Alex.
No, my fan's off.
Where do I get sound from? It's probably YouTube.
Yeah,
Even though Aphrodite's thing stopped, it continued to play commercials.
it played a commercial on my channel.
It played commercial on the next video. You know how it does that
Oh,
thing with auto
what
one.
you ready to say?
Like,
I made sure I didn't put that on my shit. What was I saying? Oh, so it's a alcohol, not an alcohol. It's a sex addicts anonymous meeting.
okay,
So because they're in like a semicircle and the camera has to get around and get to certain shots, so
yeah.
I'm trying to lay it out to because we only work with one camera on this shoot
Oh,
to
okay.
get as much done at one time as I can. So I'm getting all the big shots now and then going to get in the inserts and stuff like that. So it's gonna take me the whole sprint, but
Yeah, I was gonna
I'll
say.
get it.
Okay, cool. All right, Stewie, what'd you get?
I finished or did the entire chapter 34, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's a very short chapter. Yeah.
Cool. Got it done. All right, Yana.
551.
That's your usual number. You always knocking those numbers out. I see your numbers, okay?
It depends. It depends on what state of mind I'm in at the moment.
I feel that.
Right now, everyone's asleep.
So that
So
helps. That helps. I understand.
That does
Alex,
help.
what'd you get?
Got like a few words because I had to go back and read the beginning of this chapter to know what I was doing.
Yep.
And then I got up and made my bed because I had to take the sheet off. Because you know
Multiple.
when you fall asleep with chocolate, it doesn't end well. I'll just say that.
No, I don't have no idea what you're talking about. Wait a minute. Wait, what?
When you fall asleep with chocolate, it doesn't end well. Like, okay, so I had a bag of chocolate. One of the chocolates ended up rolling underneath me. So when I woke up, there was this giant chocolate smear on my freaking sheet.
I mean,
And
it's
I'm just
all
like,
cheat. Like, look. At
Okay, so we were talking about actual chocolate. Leave me alone.
oh my God. I wish I had that kind of chocolate.
Wasn't sure. Okay.
Listen, you, these two in the room is over. I'm just saying.
I've never gone to sleep with chocolate, so I've never had chocolate melt under me. So
Listen, the body heat warms up. Well, I
yeah,
have
I can imagine how disastrous that
like
would be.
white chocolate kisses on my nightstand, and somehow one was like, "Listen, I'm just going to sleep with you tonight." So
I
I've
don't.
been
I
there.
don't take. I've
On
never
black,
taken.
just say,
I'm like, I wanted chocolate, but not the actual candy in bed with me, okay?
I've not taken food in my bed.
jumped in there. Look, I'm with you on
Yeah.
that. I just try to keep, I might have a sweet tooth, and I don't too often. So, they'll sit there for a while. I don't know how it got there.
That's what it is. I don't have a sweet
Yes,
tooth, because I would then. I definitely
Yeah.
would.
I got 351 words. We're still finishing up some stuff with Room Within because I never did say while I was finishing up my short horror story. So it's wrapping though. It's wrapping up. All right, see what everyone else got. Just make sure the StreamYard's up to date because sometimes it lags behind. Let's see. I think that's probably where it started. Okay. Diana got 486 words. Good job. Carol said I got through 3 more pages and had to pause to handle a work call. Hey, work calls. Nobody else comment. Yeah. Oh wait, I missed Steven. Steven's at 120 hours. Good job. And Wendy said none. Had to tend to kids. Yeah, well, that will stop the worst from happening.
Who had to tend the kids?
Wendy. Let's see. There's a word is doing an allowed read a piece of folklore from my fantasy world that I'm rewriting for the current work in progress. Cool. Work it.
And see, I love the fact that like now, especially dealing with how bad my eyes are getting, like I lost even more vision.
Yeah.
So because my eye disease is progressive, so ultimately I'm going to lose it all.
Mm.
But I love that word will read my stuff back to me, so I don't have to worry about. It doesn't give good cadence, of course,
Mm.
but at least you can hear if the word is the you type the wrong word.
That's true. Because that happens to us all us writers. And let's see. Let's do the second question. I'm gonna try to get through that fast so we can jump on the next sprint there. All right. So the second question is: over the past 5 years, how have you changed slash grown as a writer, in your opinion? Who wants to take that one first?
Mm.
Do you want me to take it first? I can take it first.
Well, I've changed about everything to it. 5 years ago, I was still making music, so I wasn't even working on a book
Oh, look at you.
until later that year. So,
Cool. So
uh,
you like became a writer then
yeah, basically.
that time period. Cool. Oh, hit a little bits in the background. Alec.
Well, I mean, as a lot of you already know, I actually started writing a year ago. Um, I think probably the biggest change is having the confidence to actually write because I never thought I was good enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it took so long. So,
Feel that. I feel that. Yana.
I'm still thinking,
Cool.
trying to think what happened 5 years ago. Hold
Yeah,
on.
feel that.
5 years ago was not 2020.
True. Aphrodite.
um,
Ayana's thinking.
changed as a grew as a writer. I would say about 5 years ago, actually, I put my foot down and determined that I wasn't going to play with this anymore.
Right.
So I was still living with my kids at the time. I moved out. I left my kids, so like
I'm
they're all still in the house. I left the house and got my own place because obviously they were not leaving. And so I retired. I moved. I said enough is enough. So I grew. I guess I matured because before it's not that I dabbled or played with it, and it wasn't that I wasn't serious about it, but I wasn't serious about being out in the world with it. So my writing I was always keen on, but my sharing with the world I was not, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I wanted it in the world. I just didn't work on that happening. So big change. Because I wouldn't have told you even now that I would have a published book 5 years ago. And I have two published books, guys.
I know.
That's crazy.
Well, it's also.
I just thought about that.
Yep.
Crazy.
I know time flies and things change. I would say myself because I know it's. I've been right. I was writing Kali Astro for a while. It changed into a completely different story than when it started out, and then of course, then I did a revision on top of the story that it changed too. But it didn't go completely off the rails like it did from the first time I wrote it. But I would say that I think I grew in my confidence, and I'm a extremely confident person in everything else I do in my life. But my writing was like, even though I knew I was writing good stories, at least I was being told so. But I'm like sitting there, like, did I believe in myself enough to put it out there for others to read? And I know I've always been filled with stories. I started writing stories at like 4. I was writing stories and doing my best to get them words right. But I don't know. I think definitely my confidence in myself to say, you know what, that's it. I'm doing it. I'm just going to go ahead, even with all that. So that's definitely probably the biggest thing. I definitely grew with knowledge because I learned a lot, especially about the process. Learned a lot about myself as a writer and the process that I have and how to complete my books because it was right, write but not complete anything. So I definitely grew on the completion of things, and I'm a short story writer a lot too. So even completing my short stories wasn't happening, and that stopped. So I definitely grew in the aspect of completing these stories that I have in me. So I grew there and definitely grew it with more understanding of process of writing, publishing, a lot of stuff, a lot of knowledge. I've learned a lot of stuff about it, and I was always the type to go after knowledge and learn things about something I'm doing. But writing, I just wasn't, I think, taking it serious enough that I would be doing in the future as my whole career. That I think that I wasn't taking it to that point. So I grew as going into my author status than just being just
As a writer, yeah, because when you're published and you're author, but you've been writing forever.
yeah. I mean, I've been published, but
Right, I know that. I'm just saying that's
I
what
just
like,
wasn't taking.
I was in writer mode, not author mode.
Yeah, even when you became an author, you're still sitting there like writer mind. So I would like to say that that's one of the things I grew. I grew into an author. But I just was still thinking writer.
Right. I think it was key because I was always putting me on the back burner
Yep, I was.
and always making sure everybody else got their needs taken care of. And if they couldn't do it, I'm making sure I stepped in to fill in the gap.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am. And I'm not going to stop being that person. But I just made sure that I also included me in the list of people who needed help.
Yeah, 'cause you can't help people. You're just,
Yep.
that's it. Yana.
Let me see. 5 years ago, I just had my fourth child. So,
Babies.
right, I had to think about it. I was like, 5 years ago, that's so long. Somebody along the line was born. But anyways, let me see. I had just had my fourth child, and at that stage, I was a perfectionist. So everything I wrote was not good enough.
Yeah.
And I would toss it to the side and just forget about it and start something new. Sometimes wouldn't even finish the project. Like that's how bad it was. And then also at that time, I was just starting to, I guess you can say, talk or trust really other writers, because I didn't trust when they said, "Oh, this is good" or something like that. Like I'm like, "Nah, y'all lying, go away." And so I was developing, I guess, like the trust with other people as well as chilling on the perfection areas. Like it's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect the first go around.
Right.
You gotta edit.
That's all right. Well, that's why we writers have editors.
Right.
They have their
I was
work
learning
cut
that.
out. I figured that out. I was like, listen, you don't have to do that, because I was in that mindset that you were, and I was like, look, oh, this needs to be like this, and I would leave it, and I have so many stories that were left incomplete because this isn't good enough,
Right.
or this isn't good, and even you still always think that about some stories, like it's this, there's always going to be someone that likes your story. That's just a fact, and there
And
will
there's always going to be someone who doesn't.
always be people who like it, people who don't. So you can't please everyone. So that's just like you eventually grow to that.
Right.
That's a good thing. So we grow.
I know with me, that's why it took me so long to actually want to write, because everything I would put down, I was like, this is crap. Because on top of that, I was comparing myself to like authors that I really admired.
Of
Right.
course,
So,
yeah.
we always do that. That's
You know what? I never actually did that. I really had in my mind that I was probably the only person who liked my stories, and that was okay. I really was okay with that. Like I don't know how to say it right. Like I would write the story because if I didn't get it out of my brain, then I was gonna go crazier.
Yeah.
And so I said, but it took me, I was like in my 40s when I got comfortable with the fact that okay, you're weird, and that's good. But I never compared myself to other people because I really do believe that it's okay for like all five of us here, we could tell the same story, but it wouldn't be the same story. And that was good. That was a good thing.
Yeah. Right.
So if I wrote something and it wasn't like Alex's, that was still a good thing,
Right.
So I never did that. And I didn't have I've been so beaten up by people for so long that I just knew that no one was gonna like it. So I just went through. So, but if you like it, then go ahead and tell it.
That's right.
I think I was still at
And
this
that's where my
stage.
brain was. Like I never got to that point where I was like, oh, it's not going to be good enough. Because I just kind of felt like nobody was going to think it was good anyway.
Yeah.
I think I was still at that stage, at that age, especially trying to please everybody, especially those who I never could seem to please in childhood.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm an adult now, so I'm gonna do something to please them, but everything unfortunately flooded into the writing and the creativity, so it was kind of hard to get away from that.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like with me, I have very high expectations of myself and others. So because of that, I'm always judging myself so freaking harshly. Like,
Yeah.
even if something's good, I will find something wrong with it.
We're our worst critics, and I feel that, I know that. But I think sometimes when you're a critic, then you can you could better something because of that too. Sometimes that's a plus, and it could be a negative. So I mean, I definitely.
I don't judge me or other people though.
Yeah, it's not so much as judging, so much as being critical or being critiquing yourself kind of thing. I mean, it's just my mindset because it's coming from dance.
Right.
Like when I perform, and I'm an improver, so everything's on stage as I do it. I like I do choreography, but I prefer freshly do it right there. But I am critical of myself, and people like, oh, you're
Yeah.
such a great dancer. You've been dancing for 20 something years, but still, I will go look at my video and tear it apart every time. Like, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that. This is what I should have done. What was I thinking there? Like, I've been dancing for 20 something years, and I have my moves down. I can teach really well, all this and that. But other people be like, oh, that performance was just, oh my God, rocking. That was awesome, man. I'm sitting there like, listen, bitch, you should have did this. Like, doing right.
I think that's the thing, is that there's a difference between judging from a good place and judging because you're a freaking asshole.
Right, that's true.
Oh no, it's a big difference in being judgmental.
Big difference. Like I will keep myself to the point I know I could do better. I know my arsenal, I know what I have, and it's like, but that's the good thing also about when I improv, because I do the opposite when I'm a writer. I used to be a pantser, but now I'm a planner. But when I dance, I will not do planning. That means I will be a choreographer. But I prefer to do on the spot improv, which turns out really well, or it can turn out where you may not like it, but the audience most of the time loves it. But it's your interpretation of the music at the time. But then that's the opposite of what I do in my writing. So it's like you have to just do what flows for you, whatever aspect that may be.
Yep.
So, yep. All right, let's see what everyone said in the comments. See who answered the question. Not that everybody had to. Let's see here.
You hit a good point on that though, Danny, because whenever I dance and it's just me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't choreograph it. But if it's obviously if it's going to be me and a couple other people, I get down with the choreography, man. I love it.
I do love it. Then
I love choreograph numbers.
I had a troupe with like 5 people in it before, so that's always fun to balance.
I love that.
Ava said a question too. A friend of mine used to say that they look back and call those my scholarly years. My work 5 years ago was largely influenced with mythology and religious studies.
That makes sense, actually.
Oh. Steve said, I actually write now because 5 years ago I didn't even write. Cool. So you became a writer. Awesome.
I think that's so cool. Like the majority of us are in our 5-year writing world.
Yep, truth. Shay said 5 years ago my focus was poetry. I'm with you, Shay. But most of my time growing up when I was writing, when I wasn't doing a story, everything was poetry. That's the first thing I ever had published was my poetry. And I used to actually have a little business where I used to write poetry for people who have loved ones that passed away, or people for birthdays and stuff like that. So they would tell me something about them and I'd write an entire poem based on what I heard. And it usually would be right spot on. So I was kind of like that type of poet. Wendy says 5 years ago, I had given up on writing and binged a ton of television shows. Hey, sometimes you gotta take a break. That's when I got into Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. Cool beans. All righty.
I've never seen Breaking Bad. I got to check it out.
Yeah, I've seen Breaking Bad. I have an addiction to K dramas, so that's all I watch. I don't even watch anything else
Right?
at all.
Now you it up. Like,
I
yeah.
don't need anything else. They have
I'm
everything I need. Hot men
I'm
all over
addicted
the place.
to
Like, and then
yeah, I'm
the drama.
addicted to romance novels.
Dude, I've been addicted to romance novels a long time. I have an entire collection of romance novels, and I love what's her name? She writes really good, like
Oh yeah, we talked about her before. I
I
don't know if you
love
saw my post on Facebook, but
I love
I
her.
finished this book in one sitting a few days ago, and I'm just so happy with this book.
Anything that Christina Fahey writes, I will be all over. Every time a book come out, pre-order it, all kinds. No,
The one author
hmm
that I used to follow, she doesn't write anymore.
oh, that's
I don't
sad.
even know if she's still with us because she's like way like underground, but those are pretty much the only books that I sat and read straight through. And it's the Seder series,
I
the
was saying,
Lords of Seder series. And they're not like the greatest books ever written or anything, but I friggin' love them.
oh yeah.
I friggin' love
You
them.
find a series that you love, like listen.
Well, see, that's the thing is with books, anything that is high in like angst and passion, I tend to like binge read. I'm
I'm with
such
you
a
on that.
whore for angst.
I'm with you on that. I love romance. Like I got into romance when I probably was like 17. And then it's
Yeah,
just like from there. And then my adopted grandmother, she was also a book fanatic like me. So every time she would buy like a whole bunch of romance novels, she would just give them to me. Like she'd buy them in bulk and then she just give them to me. So half of my library came from her. And then the other half came from me going to thrift shops and stuff. And
in the
then
library.
one thrift store that my little brother used to work at used to have where you could get a cart of books for like $25.
Oh
And I
wow!
was like, listen, they should never have came up with that.
So
Go
you're
get
gonna
the
you.
cart and I fill that thing to the rim. My mom's like, you need to stop. I'm like, listen, you need to just back up my face.
It's like just you want I'm gonna be extra right now if you don't let
I
me
will
have my book.
so listen, you tell me to go in the store, stay away from the book section. I'm like, yeah, okay, bye. I'll be in the book section.
I was
We
like
go in.
12.
That was
They
me.
stay out of the tool section. I'm like, guess what? I'm going to be in the tool section.
I was like 12 when I read my first romance.
Yeah,
And
my mom was super strict. I wasn't allowed to read.
my
Yeah,
mom
you're
was the
allowed
one
to
that
read.
gave it to me. She just seen a book and she's like, here, it's a book, read. And I'm just
Read
like,
it.
Oh my God.
They don't think about what can happen in romance novels. Like I was reading very inappropriate romance novels. We already talked about this, Yana. The faces you gave me. I'm reading them at like 15 years old. And my mom doesn't care because it's just a book. It's harmless.
It's a book,
My
you
mom
know.
didn't know. And my father absolutely didn't know, but I was reading like massive amounts of smut as a kid.
I was to say my father seen it and he lost his mind. He's like, what is wrong with you? And she's like, it's a book. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, it's a book.
I'm sitting there like 12, like, is something wrong with this book? Am I not supposed to read this?
Yeah,
What's
but
happening?
I remember going to my mom. I read something way above what I should have been reading because I didn't even know 95% of what the people were talking about. And I can't think of the words. So I'm gonna pick a nicer word. So I went to my mom and asked, like, hey, Mom, what's an areola? Because he's talking about areola. And my mom just looked at me and she's like, what are you reading?
I
like,
just said this.
your book that I found up in the closet. And she goes, bring me the book.
Oh my god!
I didn't even ask.
It was a C word, the CLI word. And I didn't know what it was. And so she's not going to explain to me what that is. She wants to see where I saw it in what context. And
Oh,
so,
man.
yeah, so I'll never forget that.
Very
She never told me, so I had to go ask my teacher. My teacher told me.
I refused to ask anybody. When my dad blew up, I was like, I'm going to assume this is not good. We're going to just keep this away from adults. And I'm reading these books, not understanding anything about what's happening.
What's
I'm
happening?
like,
Oh, man.
Well, the thing for me is because I read I had a high reading level. So when I was like in middle school, I was reading YA or adult. So that was the problem. I didn't read books that were in my age group because they weren't written for my reading level.
My problem was my reading skill far exceeded my comprehension skill. So I might have been in the 4th grade and could read 7th grade, but my comprehension was still like 5th grade.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there reading, words like medical journals. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I can say those words really well.
I can read
Let's
that
see.
stuff. But, I mean, I had every kind of book, reading all the stuff,
And then to add to that not only was my comprehension level not as high as my reading level, but my maturity in general was low. Like I was ridiculously immature. Not much has changed, but I was ridiculously immature. Like I was like 3.
I'm still ridiculously immature.
9. When I was 9, I was still having tantrums, and my mother
Again,
or my father would be like, "What do you want? What is it here?" And they were so bad at it because they were like, I'm literally will tell them like, "Oh, if I cannot have this, I am really going to start crying." Here, don't
I'm
cry.
going to die.
I'll be
I
like,
did not
listen.
get that luxury.
I'll be like, listen, you just gonna cry. Bye bye.
Right. I was about to say that was my parents. Go ahead and do it. I'll give you something to cry
ahead.
for. I did not
I'm
get
that parent that would be like, wait.
See, I was that teenager who walked through the house like, like all loud and dramatic.
Couldn't do that either because then my mom would be like, breathe like that again. That'll be your last breath. I'm like,
No.
My 5-year-old does
I'm
that.
trying to breathe.
If you hum or if you huff or you hum, that would kind of make my mom mad because she'd be like, "Say what's on your mind, girl. What is on your mind? Speak it."
I'd be like,
Oh,
girl,
my mom
listen.
hated it when I side-eyed her. Like, she hated it. She was about to pop me upside
I guess my life though. My daughter side me since she came out. Just saying. 3.5. She been side me every day. Like, listen.
But I will say that I was kind of lucky because I could say anything to her because we had it where my mom, now my dad, it's not that you couldn't say stuff to him, is that he just was not ready. Because I literally asked him, I was like 9, and I told him I wanted to kiss this one boy. And he was like, "Little girls don't kiss boys." I'm like, then what do they do with boys? What are you talking about? What's there left to
that would have been my
You
dad.
tell me.
That would have been my dad.
What am I missing? Because I want to go kiss
Your
him.
house was different than my house. If I would have just listen, if I would have said something about kissing them boy, my mom's would have I would have been rung up.
No, I had to go with my mom though. And my mom was like, "No, you can kiss him if you want to." But my mom was also the person who was like she didn't care. Like, if not that she didn't care, that's the wrong words. It's
I
like,
know what you
like
mean.
if you like this particular person, it's okay to like this particular person. Just know what you're kind of getting into, kind of.
Right.
But my father was like, so when you like 5 years after you get married, then maybe consider holding his hand.
I see. Listen,
I wouldn't be able to do none of that. I'd be like, listen, this is how hormones work.
My dad. I was about to say my dad was the
My
person
mom
that
just
said,
was-
you get married at 40 and you can start dating at 50. And I'm like,
When people
there's some
say that,
math off here.
I look at people who say that about their kids, and I'm like, you are delusional. And I just walk away.
yeah,
my mom was like, "Is he cute?" My mom was a mess.
Well, I think your mom and me would get along quite well. I'm probably that mom.
No, you would have
You
definitely
come to me and say whatever you want. I'm not
got
going.
on my nerves now, but you would.
I know I would have loved
her.
I'm not going to judge you. I want my daughter to be able to come to me and say whatever she wants to say and needs to say, because as a parent, you have to be very careful how you react to things, because that's going to set the stage for your child lying to you.
Like, I would.
They are afraid to tell you stuff. I know that's how I grew up. My mom, she didn't do it on purpose. She did, but it was just who she was. And right from when I first started liking boys, and I was like probably like 8, when I first the first guy I had a crush on was this Chinese dude at the store, corner store. Like, I liked Asian guys right out.
They always at the store.
I was like, I was at the store. So I was like, but I couldn't tell my mom, because as soon as I mentioned it, she's like, "You said what happened? What? But you what now?" So I knew right there, my hit click. Don't tell my mom when I like anybody. Don't bring up I liking a boy. Don't do that. So in my entire life, that set the stage for that.
My mom was a clown, though. She was a clown with it, because when, like, if I came to her and was like, "Oh, I like this guy and he's just so cute," and she'd be like, "Well, tell me about him." But she would want to know, because my mom was pedigree. She was a little bit stuck up. Like,
I know, I like your mom's.
what do his parents do? And blah 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 blah. And how long do you know him, kind of thing. But she wouldn't do that about the kid, but she would about their parent. But my mom was a mess because like there was this boy TC. I'm gonna say his name. TC. He was fine. Okay, and
fine.
Was you like
he was fine, and he had a car.
On and a car. Watch out.
Oh, you might as well marry him right now.
Not his daddy's car, but his own car. Okay.
Uh-oh.
And he asked me out. So I was like, my mom's name is her first name Maria. So I go to her, I'm like, Maria, so don't you remember that boy TC? And she goes, that light-skinned one with the light-skinned American. That light-skinned one.
Light-skinned American.
And he asked me out on a date. And she's like, where are you gonna go? I'm like, I don't know where we gonna go wherever he go in his car. And she go, oh well, he has to pick you up here. I'm like, oh, fine, right? Not knowing my mama setting me up because so I'm all getting dressed ready for it because we're going to the movies. And I'm all getting dressed and I'm like 16, 17 years old. And yeah, it's like 17. So I think he was like 20. He was old enough to be a cop. So yeah, 20. In Maryland, you could be 18 and then you had to be 21. So he was like 20 on the borderline. And he comes to the house, tall drink of water, okay? He shows up, he's like, hey, Miss Maria. And she goes, hi, George. And I'm looking at her, and I told her what his fucking name was. And then she goes, oh, wait, I'm sorry. You're not George. You're the other one. Michael. And I'm looking up, and I turned, I'm like, she's playing. And he goes, well, which one is he? I get so many.
Oh.
Your mom's, dude.
And she goes, wait, don't tell me. And then she went through all these lists of names, and he's just looking at me like, you a hoochie. And then she just kind of turns, mom's real short, and she turns and looks at me. She has this look on her face like she is trying not to laugh. And I'm like, I hate you so much right now. Because now I got to explain to him that I'm not talking about all these guys. I'm talking about him. And she goes, well, okay, Derek, you guys have a good day.
She's something else, that one. Oh my god.
She was an absolute and complete and utter mess.
Oh my god.
And that shit was not funny. Like I'm smiling now, but it was not funny at the time.
I can't. That's too funny. I love your mom.
She ruined my whole date. He was mad the whole evening.
I think Carol was answering the question, I believe, here. I'm doing role play and games and trying out emo hussies moving in on my RP.
Oh yeah, don't even those
What the
freaking
hell is
games.
that? What is
The
that?
hussies fucking moving on. Yeah, they just.
Wait, tell me what that means.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Emo hussy moving in on my RP partner. Is that English? I have no idea what that is.
Playing partner. Like the I'm sure that Carol's talking about like the tabletop games, I would imagine. I used to play tabletops.
Yeah.
RP.
Either that or it might be a video or role playing game too.
Maybe.
Like
What is it? Emote hussy.
I'm trying to remember exactly what it
I got
is.
to write about emote hussies, and now I need to know what they are.
Oh my god.
She's like obsessed now. She's like, I'm gonna write a whole series about 5 emote hussies.
Carol said down here, think World of Warcraft.
See, yeah.
Are you talking
about so in a video game you can pretend to be your character? Yes, this is true. So
Yeah, see, I thought it might be a video game.
I play video games like religiously, so I know all about that. I used to be tabletop games, but I stopped playing those like X amount of time ago.
See, I played Forsaken World, and then I went to Second Life. I never played World of Warcraft. Because you have to pay for that shit.
Well, I got to write a short about this. So I'm going to have to study because I don't know what this is.
All right.
Okay, I got you. Oh, God, I have so much fun with that.
Cool.
Oh, I got to calm down now. My chest is
next sprint at 9:30 and do another 20. Then we'll have, when we come back, we'll do the last question and then we'll jump back on other sprint. I think the last question probably shouldn't be as detailed. Yeah, shouldn't be that. That should be quick and easy. I tried to make the last one quick and easy so we can get on the last 20 minutes. So we'll probably finish up a little bit after 10. So
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Are we sprinting now?
we can go ahead and start. I don't think we need to work to 30 because everybody got out what they need to get out. So I'll go ahead and pull the timer up here. La la la. Let me.
Somebody do this damn script for me.
I think Carol wants a sprint.
Yeah, I know. I thought.
All right. Sure.
She's so stumbled at Carol.
All right. So let's start it. Let's go ahead. Start writing. I will see you guys in 19 minutes and 45 seconds.
I love this timer. I gotta make another one.
And that's time. How did everyone do?
I got halfway done. I should actually get it done before we finish.
Awesome. We have another sprint. So we're going to do the final question. Everyone can let me know how they did. I did about 110 words because I didn't write the whole time. So
I relocated and did about half of a scene.
cool.
I got 440.
Nice. Alec. Alec. I think Alec's not with us.
No, he was still muted. I didn't know Spencer for Hire actually had books. I love Spencer for Hire.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, sorry, my mic was acting stupid. I did 276.
Cool. Good job. And everyone else in the chat, if you wrote, then you can simply put it in there and I will read it.
I had no idea. I gotta look those up. Thank you, Daya.
Graveyard takes forever to catch up. So let's see. Wendy said I wrote words on Twitter. Hey, still works. See. Carol said I finished reading and commenting on the script and sent it back. Good job. Completed. Let's see. Cachet said finished most of my February IG posts and blog banners. Good job. I need to get in on that. I still got a lot to do with that. This is supposed to be my weekend where I work on all my AuthorTube stuff coming. So my schedule got mixed around because of my clients from my other business because they're funny. So now I have to rework my schedule to fit in all my AuthorTube stuff this Sunday instead of Saturday. I had to move stuff around. Yay, schedules. Oh my.
Oh yeah, I was in love with that series. I was in love with Spencer and I was in love with Hawk. So, and then of course Avery went to Star Trek, so I got to follow him there. But I had no idea. I am definitely looking that up.
Yeah. Dahlia said I started reading the books after I watched the series on TV. That
Okay.
doesn't happen a lot of time. You may catch something the other way around, like you may get into the books because you read, you know.
Did the books exist before the series, or did they create the books after the series?
Good question.
Because I never knew that there were books.
Yep.
Another reason why I like the name Spencer.
I started reading the Witcher books after I played like the first video game of Witcher on PC. I started.
Wow.
That happens. It can go either way.
Yeah. However you get introduced is however you get introduced.
Yeah. While everyone's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and read the third question. This one's really simple. If you could take a one-on-one workshop with one author, who would it be? Must be living.
See, I don't know if mine is alive.
Yeah, I'm making them be alive.
I think that she is. I think she just, because she doesn't use her real name because of the type of stuff she writes, and she's like a professor somewhere, like what do you call it? Historical professor.
Mm-hmm.
And but hold on, come back to me because I have to find out. I'll be back.
That's cool. Who wants to take that one? Should I take it? Okay, I'll take it. I probably would have to say I would like to do a workshop with R.A. Salvatore since he's like my favorite writer that's living. I always looked up to him. I read all his stuff growing up because I was nothing but a fantasy buff, of course, until I got into romance. Then, I spread my wings as far as like fiction wise because I was only fantasy and horror, and then romance came into play. And I don't really count all my educational books because that's just like I love learning, so I don't even count that with the fiction world. But yeah, I have to say R.A. Salvatore just because I'd like to hear what he has to say. in a workshop more than anything else. So yeah, maybe that'll happen before he passes away because he's getting up there in numbers now. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyone else?
I'd have to say probably Laurel K. Hamilton.
Oh, I
Mostly because, huh?
I like Hamilton.
Oh, I love her. I mean, I do prefer the Meredith Gentry series versus Anita because I'm not a huge fan of Anita Blake, the
Yeah.
character. But I
Yeah.
like the way she writes very well-rounded men with actual emotions. So,
Like they're people.
yeah.
That's crazy. I know.
So, yeah, she's definitely one of my favorites. She's probably the only author I could say that borderlines on Harlequin, but she does it well enough that it's not an eyesore.
Right. Very true.
But what's this blasphemy I hear that men are people?
What? I know. I told them they could be people.
Nope, many aren't people.
They're not. They don't allow to have emotions and things. They don't feel things, and
They are
you
robots
people.
solely here to do stuff to us.
Hashtag Team Change.
You want that to be true.
For us.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're totally here to do stuff to
You
me.
didn't make no mistake on your word, and so stop. Nobody falling for that. Okay, okay. We
For
all on the same page. All right, Stewie or Yanni, you grab it.
I don't really know. I would maybe say Brandon Sanderson because I've watched his classes from BYU up on YouTube. I've
Yeah,
watched some of them and
they are
I enjoyed
great.
those, or maybe.
cool.
They are great classes. Oh my god.
Masterclass is so awesome. I want to take a lot of those.
I really want to have masterclass, but I just don't have money like that.
I've been taking a lot of master classes and they are amazing guys.
I'm definitely going to take some as I'm very interested in those. When I can.
Especially Neil Gaiman. I mean, even if you're not a fan of Neil Gaiman, his class is really good.
Oh yeah.
I want to absorb all kinds of different kind of writers' way of writing, even though I am a romance author, because they all have something to teach you.
They have 2 new poetry authors in there now.
Yeah, I'm glad about that. I'm going to definitely check
Yes.
some of those out.
R.L. Stein is in there. I
Yes.
got a lot of that.
Yes, gotta take RL. Yes,
And his class is great.
I gotta take that. I'm really
But I'm gonna claim my author
okay.
because I'm pretty sure she's alive. I think she's
Even
just
if she's not, I wouldn't.
low key hiding out. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't know.
And her name is Elizabeth Amber.
Oh, okay.
And if she held a class, she would have to kick me out. Like I would because I want to pick her brain so bad. Like what's wrong with you? Like where you what's going on in your head that these characters came to you because they are off the hook.
Right.
Like wait, here can y'all see? This is my favorite one. This is the second one.
Rain. Yeah.
Let the rain fall down. You hear me? I do not
I'm watching.
believe it or not. I hate these covers. I hate these covers.
I
But-
don't know why. That's why.
Because the German covers are so much better. But anyway,
I want to see that. Thanks.
I'm just I like man body, so I don't know what to tell you.
it's not that I don't like man bodies. Come on now. I just don't like. See, I guess
I know
that's
what you mean.
my
It's just
kick-
too
my
much.
food kicks in. I don't like these pictures at all. Like all of them are like this.
Well, yeah, that's what your problem is. You're just like, I'm so sick of all romances having this man with man chest covers all over the cover. It does get a little old, but I think it's how it's presented because some look better
I
than
mean,
others.
like you
Plus,
got
he doesn't
Fabio.
look like he
being
doesn't even look
all
like the
covered.
guy in the book that she's describing. So
Yeah.
you can tell again, she didn't have any say over what her cover looked like because they put what they thought would sell.
Yep.
Yeah, because you gotta be careful with that. Like if the people who are picking the covers and the base of the characters are described in that book, and you put someone on that cover that doesn't look anything like that character. When I read romance and they have a person on cover, guess what I do? When I'm reading it and they do a description, I flip that cover and I look at that cover because now I have visual and I want to see. And then you got somebody that's like, "Who was this guy? Is he in the book? Who's this?"
Yeah, that's what I do. Like all my characters look like what's on the cover. So
Right, if you're
Right, and that's
on
what's
the cover,
important
you
to
gotta
me.
do it. If you're gonna do it, just don't say what the card look like. Then if you're gonna do that,
Like
but
this is the first book. I mean, they're a little bit wrinkled up because maybe I read them a couple times.
Maybe.
Yeah, a couple
Okay,
possibly.
but the boys in the book, girl. Okay, Nicholas. He
You see her how she said Nicholas.
he don't look like this.
Leave y'all alone. I'm just saying, like,
He don't look like this, and like they're big. They're satyrs.
I
wouldn't
did
know
not
that
think you were
from
gonna
you.
say satyrs.
I did not see that coming. I gotta say.
They're big, giant guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're not big giant guys, they're big giant friggin' satyrs. And they're not these guys.
Saying, so
there's a whole lot of big giant in these men.
Oh, there's I blushed reading some of the stuff. But
where can I get those books at? Like, can I buy them on Amazon?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go.
As a matter of fact, I had to get Rain again.
Okay.
Because it kind of, I don't know what happened to it.
How many is it? How many of them?
7.
All right.
It was 3 and 4 because the first 3 are Nicholas, Rain, and Lion, and their brothers.
Okay.
Rain is the best brother, and then it's the other 4. They're in Elseworld. So you have the human world and you have Elseworld, which are in both books.
This sounds intriguing.
3 that have in the human world. You have 4 that are in Elseworld.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the best way to describe it. And that's not 100% correct, but because they go back and forth, but that's the
now I want to read.
It's like having 2 different series with the same subject.
I'm gonna wait to buy until February. I have to finish Stewie's book first, so I can't. You just distracted me. Stop.
I have like
mystical and read this.
I can't do it. I have 800 books.
Oh, we lost Yana. We lost Firefly.
Yeah,
Actually,
but I have over 800. Is she coming?
Yeah, she goes. Okay, cool. Let me add her back.
Okay.
So we gotta actually get her to answer the question. Actually, all us rambling. I'm sure you probably have.
I'm sorry. But Amber Elizabeth Amber does that to me.
I know she's good. I gotta read this. Okay, go you.
There's just, every time I say author's name, they end up dying. So I don't even know if I want to.
Stop.
You're Black Widow.
Like, I'm to the point, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to learn from nobody. I know, right? Just not gonna say names. Just like
she definitely with the voice.
I want to learn from this person, and tomorrow in the headlines be like, really though, that was true.
On a deaf note, she like deaf voice. That's
I mean, so many people that you probably want to take from, like, but I was like, probably just pick my favorite author. But there's so many people you can learn from with that. Just hearing people talk on masterclass, I'm like, can I take your class right now? You just sold me.
Yeah, right. What is it about the authors that you chose? Because with Elizabeth, it just made me feel free to say what the fuck I wanted to say. Like, I always held back a little bit because I'm like, people are they're gonna like slut shame me or whatever the equivalent would be because of the stuff I write about.
It's always
even if I don't write erotica, because I don't write like lots of erotica, but I have erotic scenes in everything I write. So, and just about everything. And so I was afraid. And in this book, if you took out the smut, because there's some deep smut. If you took it out though, and just said they had sex, they screwed or whatever, the story would still be so freaking cool.
That's what I liked about your encounters, because you could took any of the sex scenes out and there's some good sex scenes.
Because she my mama.
I need me some Orson. That's all I gotta say. I need me some Orson.
In real life, I cannot handle Orson.
Listen,
I can handle that all day.
I really did want to be like the Red Riding Hood story.
I think I can handle a doctor. I can handle him.
And
I need the brothers.
I mean, he Korean too, so.
But I don't think I can handle them brothers.
Oh, I could.
You say that because you only know that one little story.
Yeah, I say that.
I like a challenge.
I can't. We can't talk about that.
Yeah, we gonna get off. We never gonna get the next sprint. We got one sprint to do. One more. Don't start talking about no hot guys. Stop it.
Somebody say something about a hot Korean guy. That'll go off on left field.
Yeah, I can't.
Especially I was going to say Beverly Jenkins or Margaret Atwood. That's it.
Margaret
Oh
Or
my.
Toni Morrison if she was alive. So that's just it.
Margaret
Okay, well,
Atwood.
there better not be no headlines. Okay.
I know, right? That's why I said I'm gonna say it real quick. Maybe hopefully nobody's listening.
She is a great teacher.
Definitely, I want to.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yana, hit me up later on. I'll send you something.
I will.
Oh, there's a book that
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I said I have no idea. I used to say Lewis Duncan or Maya Angelou.
Right. And my Angelou was on my list. And then she
That's
up and died. I said Toni Morrison. She up and died. I'm just done saying
Wait,
names.
Maya died?
Maya's been gone.
Yeah,
When did
Maya's
I
been
hear
gone
about
for
this?
bed.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my God. Oprah did a big thing when she passed away.
I got to a point where I wasn't like doing much of anything, so there might have been a period where I just wasn't
Yeah,
online. I wasn't watching TV.
UNCG.
Yeah, I said the reason
UNCG
why
had
I
like
said
this huge ceremony for her.
living because I figured it would be easier because it's probably so many us being writers and authors that it would be, we probably have so many people we'd love to learn from, and it's a lot of those people that passed away because obviously
But Lois, you still can. Lois still has her masterclass up.
Yeah, Lois does. Margaret Atwood does have a master class, right?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, she does. It's Chris Matheson.
All right now.
Mm-hmm.
See, I have a few authors I could learn from, but you guys will not know who they are because they're male romance authors.
Yeah.
So
But that's okay. We don't have to know who they are. Tell us, so maybe we can look somebody up and find somebody new.
you want amazingly written BDSM, Kate Hawthorne.
Kate Hawthorne.
You want really deep emotional books, look up Nikki James.
Yeah.
Why is the name Kate Hawthorne sounds familiar?
There's so much romance I had. Oh my god, I had too much romance.
Probably. Yeah, like I can literally give you an entire list of gay romance authors because I'm friends with almost all of them on Facebook.
Awesome. Oh, there's a romance writer. She's like fantasy. She's like paranormal romance. Amanda Ashley. Oh my god, I love Amanda Ashley stuff.
I don't know that name. What did she do?
Paranormal romance.
Okay, I love paranormal.
Oh my god, like the series, dude. No, dude, these series, like these dudes are like giant dudes, like.
Oh my god.
And they have like it covers like every I'm just gonna tell you too. And there's like I like that she keeps it like it's diverse in its sexuality too. So everybody.
I love diverse sexualities.
Until it is.
I can't write stuff if it's not diverse.
I mean, I will say that I've not written a straight character at all.
Like, that's not being diverse, Alec.
I'm just saying, in my world, everybody's a little gay.
I'm just
everyone's a little gay.
I've already told Stewie he's gay. He just accepts it.
I've been told that a lot, so it's okay. All my life.
He's just gay and he likes boobs. That's okay.
I've kissed a dude before.
But he said he's gay, but he likes boobs.
Hey, you don't know.
That is going in one of my books somewhere.
Saying I can have boobs, though. So we clear, like.
I can't with y'all tonight.
All right, so we went through the questions. So we're gonna go ahead and do our last sprint of the night. I'm gonna put the counter up here again. Let me get it ready because I have to like refresh it and stuff. Pause. Okay. And screen share.
Oh, Carol left.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, bye, Carol.
All right, so we're at it. We're gonna go ahead and play this, so we can go ahead and start. Anyone ready to start writing? Go ahead and start writing. We'll see you in 20. Have fun.
I wasn't ready. I'm ready.
Ready now. Hey, Wendy, if you missed the question, the third question was if you could take a one-on-one workshop with one author, who would it be? So you can answer that. I'll check and see if you answered it when we come back in about 5 minutes. And that's time. Doo-doo. Oh, how'd everyone do?
I did not finish.
Oh, you're one step closer though, or however many steps closer.
I'm closer.
I wrote 142 words because I got distracted. I'm really tired.
Yeah, we're running to the end here. We're about done. Oh, because
I didn't
Alec has to have his beauty sleep. I'm just saying.
I didn't get much more with the read through. I came across a spot where I need to add some stuff or in a different language. So I started working on that a little bit.
Cool, cool.
479.
479. Of course.
Look, I'm trying to get this done before that sun comes up. I'm just saying.
I know that's all right. Got it. How many words you trying to get?
I at least want to try to get 2,000 or more today before I go to bed for the final day. But
You're not too
I want
far
to at
off.
least try to get as much as I can before I take a nap before the kids get up. Because once they get up, it's over and done with.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, but you sound like you're on the right track there.
Yeah.
Well over 1,000, so you're about at 1,500 already. Cool for that. So that's good. Oh, let's see here. Aphrodite, how'd you do with what?
I'm almost done mapping out the script itself. I decided to start a spreadsheet to make sure that my DP and my AD know what the hell I'm talking about because you know they're
Yeah,
not gonna understand that. But I mean, actually, they would understand it, but I kind of scrabbled a lot.
yeah,
Unfortunately, it's 6 pages, so I should be done in about an hour.
that's good.
So
Right.
when we get off, I don't have a choice but to finish it.
Yep. I didn't get much on Run with N because I kind of went off on my work tangent, so I had to write a note to my 17 instructors for the convention that I run. And then I started planning out my list for the weekend for that, for my author two stuff and for my convention stuff, because I have a lot of paperwork and web design stuff to do. So just planning ahead because I know work is coming this weekend, so I like to just lay in bed all day and watch K dramas, but that's not going to happen. Maybe part of Saturday I can get away with that.
You gotta have at least one day where you could just lay in bed. Like,
Yeah, I try to do that and just like super chill. But thank God I have my brother because, as you guys know, that's how my setup is. My older brother takes care of the baby. And then when I'm home, he does most of the stuff with her. So I'm like the dad, the old setting with the dad because he's dad, really. So he's like the mom dad. The guys of today,
Right.
like they're the ones that, you got those guys that take care of the baby and do the laundry and do the cooking and do that stuff. Like, and I go out. He works from home, but I go out and then I don't do that stuff.
Can you loan him out? Because
I need a cook.
I ain't begot no baby.
Listen,
But
I went upstairs to get dinner with one of the breaks, and he was like, "I fixed a gourmet meal tonight," because he does all the cooking, and it was like a garlic chicken breast with some kind of like spice type of roasted potatoes, and the green beans were just like kill me, like good,
I would love
So-
green beans right now.
I need a man who can cook.
Dude,
I can cook.
he
but
made Japanese Japanese meatballs for dinner last week on the night, and it has a boiled egg in the center of it. So it's like this big around, and it has a boiled egg in the center of it. So you kind of like cut into it, and it was so good.
I need a man that can cook, that love to cook, that every other word out of his mouth is cooking, and I won't say what the other words in between are. That's the man I need.
I'm like the man. The only words out of his mouth is either cooking or "Oh God."
Of course, Alec, we know what kind of man you are. Listen,
or at the same time. Food plays a thing.
Firefly's like shaking her head, like
Food
I'm hanging
play,
out with
no.
these
Depending
kids.
on where the food is, because ain't nobody trying to get infections.
Well, yeah, you need to be careful where you put the food. It's safe, okay? Safe play, people.
I have no words.
Not trying to deal with no hostile environments. Again, that's an Orson thing. This is why I couldn't handle Orson.
Listen, when you walk into a pool party with someone on a table covered in cake, it just changes your view of the world. It's a wonderful view too.
I'm not even gonna comment.
Listen,
I mean, I might have been cake in my day.
you in the table with the food on the bottom. Listen, okay. I was like, listen, Alec.
Listen.
We're gonna have to sing this to you to understand. Oh my god!
Y'all are gonna love this film, though.
Oh, I know. I'm. You did this short, like little film of yours, a trailer for the other one of your other stories.
Okay, I just got an idea for a fanfic of Orson and his brothers.
No.
It involves pie.
No. I'm telling you something you'll get an infection for. No. Again, this is why
Listen, Aphrodite, I'm gonna have to help Alec on this one. This is fantasy. There ain't no infections happening.
None. No.
Stop. We don't worry about those things, and it's not real life. We good.
No, because Orson did some. See, y'all don't know. Y'all only read that thing.
I want to read all of these.
You wrote.
Whose fault is that? You need to finish the book so we can read the rest of it.
Try to down for us when you give us the rest of the books. I don't hear you.
There's another bear in the book, but he's a doggy. He's a doggo.
Mm-hmm. Don't
his name is Oso. He's so cute.
Don't be throwing us no bones. I don't want to hear from you. Shut up.
Y'all, I'll send y'all the stuff. Just remember, Mink said it, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm innocent. I'm pure and innocent.
Okay. No one in this room believes that. No one
believes that.
Believes
that
that.
is about as true of me being innocent.
Yeah, we know that's not true. So, Wendy said, either George Martin or Stephen King. I want to pick their brains for character development. Laugh out loud.
George Martin is my spirit animal.
I just love Stephen King's. It's not even a book, but it was a movie, and it was Rose Red. That was the one Rose Stephen Red. King thing.
Rose Red. Yeah, Rose Red.
Oh, I love that movie so much. It was the psychology behind the house was just wonderful.
Yes, it's true. Jennifer said James Patterson. I would love to hear how he does character development and how he gets his story ideas. I have so many of his books.
I'm pretty sure Patterson is in the masterclass too.
I'm sure he is. I would not.
Yeah, I think I saw his name on the.
Yeah, I didn't get that far yet. I'm pretty sure.
I'd want to take his. I have a lot of his books. Let's see. Cause said, I don't know if y'all saw my answer, but NK, I can't even see. Why do they have it so
Jemison.
Jemison, thank you. Because I'm like, listen, gotta get me some contacts in here.
And John Grisham.
John Grisham, yeah.
And I'm reading the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, and it is beautifully written, and very unique in the way it's written.
What's the genre?
Fantasy.
Concentration. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yep, definitely.
And it's high fantasy, if anything else. It's not like fantasy, like lower level or anything.
Yeah, that's
I like high fantasy. I like all fantasy, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, if I had to pick somebody that wasn't alive, then I probably would really want to talk to J.R.R. Tolkien for world building, because he's just like, his world building is beyond impressive to me, and his story in general across the entire board, he was no joke with that. So much so it was so elaborate that he didn't finish before he passed, and his son had to finish the rest of that, and it must have been so well thought out that he was able to even do that.
You want to know?
That's what it was, because that man spent how many years? He created a language.
Everyone uses his stuff. That's how impressive
Yeah, yeah.
No, just like
Now his shit is the rules for fantasy now.
for everything, like right. So if you to that level, like that's a type of level that's just like everyone's using your shit to create. Like you know how impressive that is to me. Like that's if I could do a class, it would definitely him.
I would love to do a master class with Miyazaki, even though he doesn't write books.
Oh, Miyazaki, yeah,
and his storytelling is phenomenal.
Dude,
I would love to learn from that man.
Yeah, I've seen all his stuff. Like just
because he manages to make it cute but deep.
Yeah, very deep. You just waiting. Like every time I want to think somebody like waiting, like what's going to happen?
It's like these are kids, but oh my god, it just made me question the universe.
Exactly. Like stuff is amazing. So many people. Oh my goodness. All right, so I guess we should do our closeouts, everyone, because people were like, hurry, like, oh my god, I'm gonna go to sleep. Stop it. Go to sleep.
And I got to snatch this thing off. I'm gonna go. I can't wait.
Yeah, like a bra. Just fling that across the room. I do take the bra. I get home like bra off. Like,
I didn't realize I actually do have on a bra.
So just take it off. Just take it off and throw it across.
I don't wear clothes in the house.
Who does that?
I put this on because I was thinking like, don't forget to put something on because you're going to be on camera. But I actually did. I have clothes on. What?
Yeah, she's trying to surprise us.
My other channel, I'm naked.
She probably has like for fake shirts. Like that's not for real shirt. Like it's just like right there.
This isn't a shirt.
It's for fake. Either way, it's for fake. Like we think everything else is just naked.
I mean, from here up, I'm covered. That's why, like, I had to turn the camera off to go get the books.
Trying to get you a flash of the moon and stuff.
I can't tell.
Her natural element right now.
But my other channel though, I'm always naked, or 99% of the time naked.
Just a gift.
It's
Just a gift.
This is behind the scenes of Aphrodite Lee.
That's how I met a couple of celebrities
to wear clothing.
Because I was talking about some celebrities, and that's how I got to meet them. I have really great boobs, guys. Don't let that.
I love you, Aphrodite. I'm
Don't tell me that you have really great boobs and then tell me not to look at them.
No. I said, wait. I said, don't let the age fool you.
Now, see, I say the opposite. I'm like, I have really nice cleavage and nice boobs, but you can look. I don't care.
Yeah, if you tell me about them, I'm gonna look. It's just what's gonna happen.
My favorite type of top is like cut in like a heart shape right there. Like I'm trying to save lives.
Yeah,
I was gonna get kicked off of YouTube.
Saving lives one boob at a time.
Whoa, it is. Because they keep people strong because they make their heart beat faster.
Yep.
No. I thought
it's a true story.
Oh my gosh.
I'm saving the universe with one sex scene at a time. She's saving the universe with one boob at a time.
Just by walking.
I was singing. I was being like normal. I was being a good girl. I mean, I was naked, but I was just singing, and I was getting frustrated with the camera, so I was moving it around trying to get it the ankle right, and it's totally like a nip and like a nip slip, right? And I was like, fuck it, because YouTube will just take it off. But I said, oh shit, they might take the channel down, which they didn't, thank God. But then this guy messaged me and he said he put my video on slow-mo. He's like, great voice, by the way. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, the boobage can be distracting for some people. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I've heard that plenty of times. I was doing sewing video, you know, just about sewing. And was men and women alike. They were like, this video's about sewing, but those are some nice boobs. Yeah, that cleavage is really. I'm like,
are you talking about the Mardi Gras bra thing you were making?
Yeah, I think I made I was making a belly dance bra, and I was teaching people how to make it, and everybody kept talking.
I know what video you're talking about with the boobs.
I'm like, this is my natural dress state. I wasn't trying to get you guys to look at it, but if you're going to go ahead and do that, I have no control over your eyeballs.
Go right ahead.
I do not have that luxury, so I'm just I have never had that luxury, so I'm okay.
But don't believe me. They're there. God just like, here you go. But there's issues with them. Like I can't sleep on my stomach.
I can't
sleep on my back because they're there. And no matter how much weight I lose, like when I was a skinny mini, and I was, they still were big. Because when I was 12, I had a 38 C cup when I was 12.
When I was
It
12,
got
I looked
bigger
8.
from there.
When I was 12, I looked 8.
Yeah, I didn't look 8. That was the problem. Guys trying to hit on me when I was 12. I'm like, listen, no. I only like guys' faces. I don't even know what you doing right now.
Well, I got touched by the booby body fairy.
I got tried to
hit me all one time.
The booby body fairy.
Oh my god! Some guy tried to get me to go into a bar when I was 16, and because I've always looked.
When you were 16, I was 16 in bars.
Well, I mean, obviously now we can't do that.
If they serve food, you can.
Well, I'm talking about just bars.
Mm-hmm. But no, I was like, because in the old days, I tell people all the time, like I was 18, I was able to drink because in the old days, when you were 18, you could drink. Because they like you can go to war, you can vote, you can drink, you know.
Yeah.
And now whatever, but I won't get into that. But it changed while I was turning 20. I was almost turning 21 when they were changing it to 21.
Mm.
But anybody who was already drinking when they changed the law. So if you were 19, they changed it to 21, but you were already drinking, they didn't take it away from you.
Oh.
It was just from that point on, you couldn't be under a certain age. And my cousin, I remember he got caught in the cutoff. He was a day younger than the cutoff. And so he had to stop drinking for like 7 months or whatever it was. But
that's
yeah, like I was in bars at 16, but I looked like a kid. I was orchid.
Well, you know.
It took a minute.
Sometimes
when it hit,
I've always looked older. And now people be looking at me like I'm 25 and I'm like, or 20, I think someone told me once.
I'm like, cracked up to be. Check out them videos about the girls with the big boobs. A lot of the life we have to live.
I was about to say, like, my top half decided to gravitate to like my hips and everything else. Like, it was just like, nope, we're good. You don't need all that at top. I've never been blessed on the top. It's always been hips.
You know, it's not
I got blessed with a whole Coke bottle.
Yeah, me.
But it was very inappropriate because keep in mind, like now I'm 17, 18, and I got a 23-inch waist and boobies to here and hips to here.
Yeah.
I might have been 17, 18, 19, but I was still a good 10 mature-wise. So I didn't need that body with that mentality. Trust. I did not have good.
Nobody's ever ready for that. You don't know what's.
You're not. And then my mom would be like, she's a child. If someone was coming to me and I'm like, what was he talking about? And you do not want to know.
See, my dad.
I want to know.
But I was like, it's probably best if my dad did pass away when I was 12 because he would have been walking around with a shotgun like all the time.
That's my problem.
Because I was already like showing and like had breasts and butt and all that stuff when I was like 10.
I ain't got no butt.
Bigger until I was 12. Yeah, I had everything.
I ain't got no butt. I still ain't got no butt.
Like, guys, I got my first pair of shorts when I was like 10, and we walked to the store to play the lottery, and we walking back, got my little white shorts on, my pink bodysuit. It was like my favorite outfit. I just got it, and these dudes were standing there, and they's like doing cat calls and stuff. My dad was like,
that must have been a crime.
They thought he was probably my boyfriend,
and still they were so rude.
Yeah, still that was disrespectful.
Like they cared.
Yeah,
really did.
We all know that some men are just disrespectful.
My dad was really dark skinned, so people would assume I wasn't his daughter because I was light skinned. Like that had anything to do with like, okay, he couldn't give like really whatever. So I guess they assumed like, oh, we don't care. And then they saw my dad, they were like, oh shit, like he won't. Yeah.
Oh, my father would have hurt.
Yeah, my dad was like,
no one knew my father was my father.
Like, I'm a little girl. I know what they were. What? Like.
No one, but we just.
That's what happens when you're younger and you got all that. You know, you're not even know.
My mother almost got arrested. We were in Johns Hopkins Hospital. Like I was always sick. This is not new, and I would get like disastrously sick. But this one particular time, I wasn't like life-threatening sick.
Yeah,
I was in the hospital and I had the girls. You know, the girls found me, and the doctor had to examine me, and you know, my mom has to be in the room. Because I'm under 18.
Yeah, cool.
And well, the doctor didn't know I was under 18. So he's kind of wondering like why my mom and mother hadn't sitting in the room, but he didn't ask her no questions. So he's like examining me and like going on because it was some crazy shit that was new going on with my skin. And he asked me because like looking at my boobs, was I letting guys do stuff to them? And I'm not going to say what he said it. He said it appropriately, but my mother lost her effing mind.
Your mom.
Mind. Because she felt like because it was a sexual question that he didn't have a right to ask me that. And I'm looking at him. So now I'm seeing my mom fuming, but I really don't know why, because I'm looking at the doctor. I'm like, no, I'm a kid. Why would I do that? And then he just looked at me like, what do you mean you're a kid? Like he really just,
what you talking about?
You couldn't see his face. My mother got up, walked towards Shorty. He was about to die in the hospital. They literally had to get security and told her that they were going to put her out the hospital and make me stay there and get, what do you call it? Child Protective Services.
Wow.
She kirked out. And so the doctor was like, and he had this real thick accent. He was like, it was a legitimate question because of this and the third. And my mother was like, she a legitimate motherfucking child.
I'm a legitimate cut your ass.
And if you didn't know that when you came in there, you should have read that long before. Oh, she went.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as a doctor, you should be seeing the date of birth. I mean, come on.
Right.
I really think the minute he looked at me, he just started flipping pages. He was not worried. And then because it was eczema and he was looking like, and I was flaking, I was in really bad shape and everywhere. Right. And so he was looking like he was basically trying to say, was I letting guys like do stuff to my breasts? And that's why it was happening. And I
don't think he knows how things will happen.
First of all, he just didn't understand how like eczema and stuff worked. But my mother kirked out. The security officer actually got to me and was like, and my mom had tears going down her cheeks. I said, "Oh shit, she mad."
Yeah, she cried. She mad.
Yeah, she had tears down her cheek.
That's me.
So they said, "Look, if you can calm your mama down, we won't arrest her." I was like, Maria,
why are we not arresting the doctor for asking an inappropriate question?
They
First of all,
what does trying to kill
have to do with eczema? Like,
let's go back and try that again.
Nothing to do with it. And she was saying so. She was trying to say so too, but she had got so mad. Her go-to was
I can't blame her.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. Because the thing is, you never know what somebody is dealing with. And my mother had been tremendously abused, sexually and otherwise.
So yeah, she wasn't going for that. I understand that.
He triggered her because my mom don't kirk out like
I
that.
was gonna say your mom.
Yeah, she lost her mind.
Yeah,
I was like, I told him I was 16. I told him.
Dude, they will say and do things and they automatically think things. My little
he was trying. The doctor was Joshua. Words, and they had him off like sequestered talking to some other doctors. And you can just look at this one doctor and he just lowered his head and shook his head like, dude, you did not ask her that.
But I don't know what race he was, but my little brother's doctor was Indian. And he thought that he didn't have to talk to my mother because she's a woman. And he thought that he could just talk to my brother. Granted, my brother was the patient, but my mother, we're like really close-knit family, which he should understand because he, so like we're part Indian too, okay? But my mother is Black and Mexican as well, and she not gonna take no, you know what? So my little brother was real sick with kidney infection. He wanted to give him a test with sexually transmitted diseases. This test is only to find out if he has sexually transmitted diseases, but he had to stick something up his pee hole to do the test. And they didn't want to listen to him that he said, I'm a virgin. So that means he did not need the sexually transmitted disease test. The nurse called my mother and said, Mommy, you better get down here because this doctor trying to give your son a test that he does not require to have because he doesn't believe he's a virgin.
What?
Well, you had to have sex because you're a Black male. Like, it wouldn't matter what race he was. Excuse you. You're a Black male, so you sure you haven't had sex?
Plus, even if he
What do
was,
you mean? Are you sure?
what happened to peeing in a cup?
No.
Thank you. I think Josh was like, I think I would know if I had sex, dude. I'm like 25. Like, I think I know if I had sex.
I would have been there had I done it.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't possibly be 25 years old and have not had sex and be the race you are. Be like, listen, you about to take your racist
This
stuff
guy,
out my face.
like the question was ridiculously inappropriate. It was, but the only saving grace I give him is that where he comes from, and I'm not going to say where he comes from, that somebody my age would have been married with 3 kids. So he legit thought he was asking a legit question.
That's the problem, but you have to take yourself, when you are a medical professional, you take yourself out of whatever you think you learned,
right,
and stop yourself, because if you have any kind of intellect, then
he
you
should
know
have asked no matter what. When he saw me, he should have went and got somebody who specialized in what was going on, as opposed to
trying to guess.
He was a general practitioner. He did not know, so he's asking all these questions and going down the line.
Like, see,
and if he said something else,
listen, go back to school.
I can't think of what I don't remember what he said, and he said something else. My mother said, "Excuse me," and he looked at her, and then he just looked back at me like, I don't even know why she's trying to.
Like, why's your mom talking? That's what.
And then he said something else to me, and this and that. Then when he asked about my breast, that was it.
Listen, dude. Sometimes
they got him of a doctor.
Overstep their bounds, and then be all shocked when you come at them like, Lucy, what? No, bye.
And my mom is like 5'2", and she's little.
Oh wow, that must have been hilarious.
They the ones that you don't mess with.
Short people.
They the ones with the
only
Napoleon complex.
She's a terror. Like, don't get her mad, dude.
Yeah, I think my mama closer to 5'1". She used
I think I'm gonna have to do a stream where we talk about our moms, dude. Because I got some stories. My mom, some people up, man.
I got some stories about elementary school. My mom acting crazy.
Y'all gonna laugh.
That's when you get crazy, mama.
A girl tried to mess with my mom, got her. Like, it was terrible. She destroyed her entire persona. With
my mom made a principal almost cry.
My mom have made
my mom made a principal cry.
And that's only because he thought he was a big strong man around a bunch of women and didn't want to cry. I think he was crying.
No, not Sister Victoria, Sister Virginia Ann. Sister Joe Anita. She even had Joe. We used to call Joe Anita Jaws, and she had Joe Anita upset. My mom,
Jaws. All right, let's go do our closeouts, guys. We'll be here forever.
Right.
All right, Alec, you go first. We're gonna work our way around.
All right. Well, again, I am Alec, or also known as A.L. Williams. I am the author of Immortal Scars. That's available on Amazon. Hopeless Scars is coming out in March. If you want to be a beta reader, just like reach out to me, or not a beta reader, ARC reviewer for the book. Just reach out to me. I'm also looking for beta readers for Shameful Scars, which is book 3. And I have a Patreon. So if you want to join there, just find me somewhere.
I want to be an ARC reviewer.
Okay.
I will also do ARC review for you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I will send them out. Yay.
Now time for Firefly.
I am the Naked Firefly, Oriana. I had a brain. Wait a minute.
I had a brain.
I write romance.
The Naked Scarecrow.
I write romance, mystery, and middle grade fantasy. Give me a moment. Sleep is starting to settle in. I will have a book coming out before the summertime. My first romance, the Healer's Love, and just follow me on social media, YouTube, all that. Yeah, that.
I will put. I will be adding Naked Firefly's info to the stream. So please check the description. I will be adding that after this. So Naked Firefly, please message me on Facebook your links so that way I can add that, and I'll keep it with all our stuff.
Okay.
All right, and DL Stewart, you may do your closing now.
My brother from another mother.
I'm DL Stewart. I write adult medieval fantasy. I have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, a website, a YouTube channel. Everything's DL Stewart author. My debut novel, The Battle for Metagore, came out last year. It's available on Amazon and a bunch of other places. And I have a sign up on my website as well as it's linked in all my videos for people to be alpha readers for book 2 of my book. If anybody's interested in that.
Yay.
I know that's what's bad.
Yep.
All right. And Aphrodite.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aphrodite Lee. I have nothing new going on currently. My Shattered book is out there still, and Minx Kenosha's Encounters is still out there. So pick those up if you haven't gotten them already. I will be looking for some betas probably at the end of March. So if you're interested in beta, doing beta for me, this is back into my normal stuff, my crazy fantasy, sci-fi genre type stuff. Yeah, all of my stuff is adult though, so keep that in mind. If that's not your jam, it's okay. But hit me up if you're interested in that, and I'll add you to the list of the people I have already. Other than that, just find me everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm even on Instagram now. I am on Instagram, y'all. I am in the world.
You're in the
The
world.
exception.
Most of all the links are below for everyone here. I just have to add Naked Firefly stuff, but you can find everyone's stuff below where to purchase the books. Such I have to add Alex link to your books so that people can purchase them. I try to keep all the same stuff on all the streams so that way people can always find stuff and get to you guys very, very easily. If you guys are not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channels, as everyone has something they can teach you and also share with you. And there are awesome stories that are coming up or are out. As you know, I'm author DL Tillery. This is my channel. We do these streams every Tuesday, either on my channel or author Aphrodite Lee's channel. I will be having a video each Saturday coming up starting in February, because I've finally got my video editing stuff back in order soon. And as you know, I write horror, fantasy, paranormal, and everything in between, and all types of ages of books. So please always check that before you read, because it may not be your jam. So I have my debut novel planned to come out in October of this year. It's currently in the stages of being edited by my editor, and then I'm going to be doing, all the lovely fun things like getting my beta readers ready to go once I get that back from her. So if you're interested in that, I will be announcing the beta reader run, so you can fill out the form if you're interested in being that. If you're into fantasy, paranormal, horror, mixtures, and undertone of romance, then you might want to check this book out. And it's called Cagliostro, Tale of the Libertin, Book 1. It is 3 books. So we will see you guys again. Check us all out. Our links. We all are all over the place and everywhere. There's a social media. We're probably on it. Yep. Just look up our names. You'll find us there. And we will see you next Tuesday, or maybe even on DL Stewart's stream or someone else's stream. We like to float around, See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.